Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Cueva?
Present.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Garai? Vice Chair Southard?
Here.
Chairman Cooley?
Here. Okay, do we have any requests for excused absence?
No, sir.
Thank you. Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. And Vice Chair Salvin, can you lead us, please?
Absolutely. Right hand over your heart, ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No adjustments.
And are there any conflicts of interest that need to be disclosed? I'm not hearing anybody saying yes. So the next item in our agenda is the public comment period. This meeting will be open to the public and conducted in a virtual format to be inclusive of all participation preferences. Public comment participation is encouraged by emailing any comments to the city clerk's office or by calling and using the phone number provided on the front of the agenda. Do we have any public comments on items not on the agenda?
I have no written requests. Rudy, do we have any callers on the line?
Appears not, so that moves us on to the next item, which is the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we approve the minutes of the last meeting. Do we need a roll call on this?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Commissioner Cueva?
Yay.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Vice Chair Southard?
Yes.
Chairman Cooley?
yes. Next item on our agenda is the plot plan PP 2023-0618, known as AA Fence, located west of Risco Circle and south of West 4th Street. There's a request to construct a 16,000 square foot warehouse building and a 2,750 square foot two-story office area on 1.2 acres in the manufacturing zone located on the southeast corner of West 4th Street and Risco Circle. We have the staff report, please.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. Jillian Fountain, Planning Staff. We do also have a PowerPoint for you guys tonight. Okay. An application for a plot plan for a warehouse and office on the corner of West 4th Street and Risco Circle was submitted to the city on November 27, 2023. A public notice was placed in the press enterprise, and property owners within 300 feet were notified of this public hearing on September 27, 2024. We have not received any comments as to date. A plot plan is required per section 10.02.070 to establish a new land use or to assume an existing land use consistent with the zoning of the proposed location and requires a public hearing conducted by the Planning Commission. The Beaumont Municipal Code Section 17.02.070.f authorizes the Planning Commission to approve, conditionally approve, or deny the application. In the municipal code, construction, services, and storage uses are allowed in the manufacturing zone. The property is zoned manufacturing and has a current general plan land use designation of industrial. The property has manufacturing zone properties to the north, south, east, and west. The site is 1.20 acres on one parcel and is currently vacant and unimproved. The site will include a 16,000 square foot warehouse building with a connected 2,750 square foot two-story office area located at the center of the subject property, with circulation around most of the building. A double gate and rolling gates will be on the north and southeast side, or southwest side of the lot for the truck circulation, with the required 17 parking spaces on the east side of the property. The project proposes a modern style of architecture with stucco walls, painted corrugated metal planes, CMU block walls, and metal roll-up doors. The applicant has provided a landscaping plan that meets the requirements of landscape in the manufacturing zone. The project is exempt from CEQA as a Class 32 infill categorical exemption. The required plot plan findings can be adequately met and are included in the staff report. At this time, staff recommends that Planning Commission open the public hearing, take public testimony, and approve plot plan PP 2023-0618, the pursuant of the attached conditions of approval, and prepare a notice of exemption for the applicant to file with the Riverside County Clerk Recorder. This concludes my presentation. Myself, the interim Community Development Director, and the applicant are here for any questions.
Are there any commission discussion? Not so.
I have a couple on here. So I saw, looking through the tentative map, that there was some 44-foot dedication, and there was a comment on there that dedicate the 50-foot. What's what's the story there?
So the conditions of approval that we submitted are correct. It is a 50-foot dedication there. Unfortunately, staff didn't catch the either a mislabel or a misrepresentation of the right-of-way in that area. So rather than delay the project, staff is recommending we added that, we added that note just to clarify that it is misrepresented on the plans. However, I think it's a drafting error and not necessarily a right-of-way error, but the conditions are correct.
Okay. And then the driveway location on 4th Street, it doesn't look like they're anticipating large trucks on this. Is that far enough away from the intersection for left turns in and out without too much of a problem?
So although on some of the exhibits, it does show a left in and left out in the conditions, we are recommending a right in, right out on 4th Street.
Okay. And then I didn't see, I guess for planning, is there was a gate that was proposed, it looked like, on coming off of, was it Risco Circle in the building? Was there a slide gate that was proposed out the entrance off of 4th Street as well?
Yes, so on 4th Street, it is the sliding, and then off Risco is going to be, looks like a double.
Okay, and there's enough room between the street and the slide gate for the trucks they're anticipating that won't be blocking traffic?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? It doesn't appear to be, so I'll open the public hearing at 6:08 PM. Are there any requests to speak?
I have no written requests. Rudy, do we have any callers on the line? Let me check with him. I think we're having issues with his mic.
We're just waiting to get a response.
There's no callers. I just got a response from him.
No callers? All right. Well, then I'll close the public hearing at 6:09 PM, and I'm looking for a motion.
I move to approve plot plan PP 2023-0618, known as AA fencing, located west of Risco Circle and south of 4th Street. I'm also approving, or I'm directing the staff to prepare a notice of exemption for the applicant to file with the Riverside County Clerk.
Thank you, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
And roll call, please.
Commissioner Cueva?
Yay.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Vice Chair Southern?
Yes.
Chairman Cooley?
Yes. Okay, that moves us to the next item on the agenda, which is BUSD Sorenstam and Lopez. It's a request for a public resource code 2115.1.2 and Government Code 65402, which reports on a Beaumont Unified School District proposed property acquisition located on Sorenstam Drive and Lopez Lane. We have a staff report, please.
Good evening, Chairman and Commission. Carol Kendrick, Planning Staff. On September 5th, the Community Development Department received a letter from Beaumont Unified School District that is provided as Attachment A to your staff report, requesting that the Commission provide a report back based off the Public Resource Code and Government Code mentioned in the staff report. I've put those sections in the staff report from both the Public Resources Code and the Government Code, but of note, from the Public Resources Code, the Planning Commission shall investigate the proposed site and within 30 days after receipt of the notice, shall submit to the governing body a written report on the investigation and its recommendation concerning the site. And of note, from the Government Code, the planning agency shall render its report as to the conformity with said adopted general plan or part thereof within 40 days after the matter was submitted to it, or such longer period of time as may be designated by the legislative body. This project is consistent with the city's 2040 general plan. It has a designation of single-family residential, and the use is an allowed use. It is also consistent with the zoning, which is a specific plan. It is the Oak Valley SCPGA specific plan, but commonly referred to as Fairway Canyon in this area of the specific plan. It's in planning area 20B1, and public schools are not specifically listed in the specific plan, but when a specific plan is silent, it does refer back to the Beaumont Municipal Code, which does allow this type of use as a permitted use in that zone. So this use would meet the objectives of our general plan and our zoning code and the specific plan. So at this time, staff would like to open this up to the commission to review and comment, and then provide a report back to the Beaumont Unified School District showing conformity with the 2040 general plan.
Thank you. So my understanding is at this point in time is basically they're saying we would like to acquire this property. We anticipate building a school there, but that's the extent of what's happening. We're not talking about the structure, when it's built, how it's built or anything. This is just saying, yes, it's within our guidelines and within our requirements to have a school there, correct?
That's
it.
correct. And we don't have anything to say about the construction of schools.
Correct. Any other comments?
So that's all DSA that reviews schools at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think you summed it up very well.
Okay, as there are no other commission discussions, are there any requests to speak?
I have no written requests. Rudy, do we have any callers on the line?
I have no callers on the line.
All right, that moves us down to asking for a motion.
I'll move to, I should probably look at the recommendation to word it right. So I'll move to approve as presented. We'll say that. Remove to provide a report to the Beaumont Unified School District showing conformity with the city's 2040 general plan.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we're asking for a roll call at this point in time.
Commissioner Cueva?
Yay.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Vice Chair Southern?
Yes.
Chairman Cooley?
Yes. Okay, and that moves us down to the last item, which is staff comments. Do we have any staff comments?
Yeah, we have a couple things to update the Planning Commission on. So first of all, I did pass out a map to each one of the planning commissioners. That's just to show you all of the current industrial and warehouse projects that we're currently processing through the planning department. If you have any questions on those, you can reach out to any one of the planning staff members. We did have the Economic Development Committee prior to this meeting, and there was an update regarding business incentives. So we're talking about an item that went before the city council. I'll give you a city council update as well, but it included direction from the city council to do a business incentive that allows the city to provide for funding for hiring employees. There is a criteria that's been created, but it's $20,000 per year. It is open to existing businesses that are looking to expand or new businesses. And this is an opportunity for us to really provide incentives without having the issue of dealing with prevailing wage. So that was updated to the EDC and approved by the city council.
So was the prevailing wage requirement a real limitation on people taking the
It
incentives?
was, we haven't had many projects come to fruition because of the prevailing wage. We've noticed several of our incentive applications failing to meet the minimum requirement, getting the 3 bids and being able to meet the prevailing wage. So this was a creative idea brought up by our economic development manager, Joel Belding. And so council thought that was a great idea and directed us to move forward. And so we're excited to see how successful this plan will be. They also kicked off today at EDC a business concierge idea. So almost like an ombudsman to help applicants through the process if they've got, a qualifying project and bringing forward. So they would have one dedicated person that would help them through the application process, following up on the status of their permits and plan check comments and things like that in an effort to kind of streamline and just kind of roll out the red carpet as you would think. So
Is that restricted just to the city function? What about LAFCO? Because I noticed some of them are in the sphere of influence, so will they assist in, I know it's a county process, but do they assist in help or assist with moving through the LAFCO process too?
no, so this would be only through city processes. And so to update from the September 17th City Council meeting, we did take forward the second reading for the proposed amendments to our land use designation map to bring that into conformance. I know it's kind of been about a year, and so that was just tying that up. So I was very happy to complete that process, which is goal 1 for in the land use element. So I'm excited about that. I'm all about ticking off those goals off the implementation chapter of the general plan, chapter 12. And then, as you may or may not know, AB 98 was signed into law on the 29th. And so Melody, our senior planner, she did a side-by-side comparison between AB 98 and our current plus policy. So we are, for the most part, compliant, but she's working on red lines that'll be going back to the city council on the plus policy for the second meeting in November. And then, as I mentioned, the business incentive program update. So that went on October 1st to city council. And I think that's all I had on city council. For our development review committee, I wanted to let the commission know that we have now opened it up to applicants. So for entitlement applications and special events, some things that there tend to be a lot of comments on, we are inviting applicants to try and kind of work out issues early on in the process and get them FaceTime with all the departments so we can kind of work through those and help projects move along through the process. Again, it's our attempt to try and streamline this process for our applicants.
You guys do a pre-application meeting as well, or is this serving as kind of that function once the first submittals are made.
We do have a pre-application, but for those applications, we will invite the applicants as well. You know, that's the 50,000 level comments, you know, a lot of the major infrastructure that would be required. So yeah, it's critical that we have them there. And then I will turn it over to Miss Melody Arachiga. So she's going to give you a brief update on our annual conference at the American Planning Association.
Hi, good evening, Chair and members of the Planning Commission. So as mentioned, we had the opportunity to attend the APA conference, which was held in downtown Riverside. Together, all of us participated in about 34 sessions, including one on objective design standards, where our very own Carol Kendrick was a panelist. So she did a great presentation on our implementation and our experience in implementing the objective design standards that the City of Beaumont adopted. We also, some of the sessions also touched on some CEQA updates, tribal consultation, revitalization of downtowns. We also had a legislative update, which included more information on AB 98 and some land use legislation that came through. We also attended some sessions on industrial development and community benefits, as well as affordable housing topics. So they were all very beneficial to us as we apply that knowledge now to our entitlements and processes here at the city.
Thank you, Melody. And then just, let's see, look forward for our upcoming meetings. For November 13th, we are looking at tentatively bringing forward the development agreement annual review and a sign program potentially on Highland Springs. Just a reminder, we do have the November 27th and December 25th are canceled, so we'll only have one meeting in November and December. We don't have anything on deck for October 23rd, so stay tuned. We may need to cancel that. And I know that we had an item that was continued off calendar from our September 11th meeting, the Walmart fuel. Yesterday, they actually submitted a withdrawal letter, so you will not be seeing that come back. For City Council, let's see. As I mentioned, we're going to have the plus policy going forward on November 19th. And then city staff is working on bringing an update to the City Council on the general plan update and how we're doing on complying with the Chapter 12 implementation section. So all the departments have submitted a status on that. That has been delayed because it does require involvement from outside agencies. So we're reaching out to those agencies so that we can give a full update. But when that comes forward, we'll bring that to you as well. This concludes my comments. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any comments? Any questions? Okay, looks like that's it. So the only other item on the agenda is adjournment. And the next regular meeting of the Beaumont Planning Commission is scheduled for Wednesday, November 13th at 6 p.m. unless otherwise posted online at www.beaumontca.gov. Thank you all for your participation. We look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. We'll adjourn at 6:24 p.m.